The visuals start out dark, but then there's a glimpse of some bright stars in the night sky. They begin to glow brighter and take shape, forming constellations, all while deep ambient pads swell underneath a soft harp. We pan over to a roaring fire with warm embers flickering in the darkness. Hi everyone. Welcome to another Greek mythology sleep story. Tonight, we follow Prometheus, the bringer of wisdom and fire, who gave humankind the gift of light. Close your eyes, relax your breath, and let this gentle tale guide you toward peaceful dreams. First, we meet Prometheus, a strong and clever titan, older than the mighty Olympians. He watched over humankind from his home on a high mountain peak. Below him, the mortals struggled through life. But up in the heavens, there was discord and anger. Now, Zeus had just defeated the Titans and claimed his place as the supreme ruler of the cosmos. But his brother Hades had taken the underworld, and Poseidon had claimed the seas. So Zeus, needing more worshippers, turned his attention to Earth. He wanted mankind to worship him above all else, and so he commanded the other gods to assemble in his court. They would decide the fate of mortals. Among them was Prometheus, who, though a Titan, had fought alongside the Olympians during the war. Because of his help, he stood among the gods as equals. Yet he did not share their bloodlust or their desire for power. He cared for humanity, and when he saw how hard they struggled, his heart ached for their suffering. During the council, Zeus spoke first. "We must test the mortals," he said, "to see if they will honor us. If they fail to worship us, they will be banished from the earth." Then Hephaestus stepped forward. He was the god of blacksmithing, and he proposed a test. He would create a beautiful woman and offer her to the humans. Whoever worshipped the gods first would receive her hand in marriage. But really, it was a trap. The woman was Pandora, and she carried a jar inside her home. That jar held every evil and hardship in the world, and whoever opened it would unleash them upon humankind. When the plan was set, Prometheus left the meeting. He did not agree with the others, and he did not want to be part of it. Instead, he went to the humans and warned them about the coming trap. "Do not accept any gifts from the gods," he told them, "no matter how beautiful they may seem." And then he disappeared before they could ask any questions. Meanwhile, Pandora arrived on Earth, and soon a suitor came knocking. It was Epimetheus, the brother of Prometheus. And he was not warned by his brother, so he accepted Pandora as a gift from the gods. But when he reached to open the jar, Prometheus returned. He grabbed Epimetheus' hand and reminded him of his warning. Epimetheus realized his mistake. He closed the jar and refused the woman. So Zeus had no choice but to break the bargain. He unleashed the evils of the world anyway. But because the humans were forewarned, they were able to avoid many traps. And that is why, even today, people are able to overcome hardships with wisdom and courage. But now we return to the original plan. Without warning, Zeus sent a great flood across the land, destroying everything in sight. He wanted to wipe away the image of mankind, to start over with a fresh batch of mortals. Only a small group survived and hid in caves along a riverbank. And when Zeus saw that only a few were left, he had second thoughts. Maybe wiping them out entirely was too harsh of a punishment. And as the floodwaters receded, he decided to give humanity another chance. But the survivors were cold and scared, and without shelter they huddled together for warmth. It was then that Prometheus felt pity for them. He remembered how happy they used to be, how hopeful, how full of potential. But now they were broken, desperate, and alone. And it was all because of him. Now, the humans could not build fires on their own. They did not know how. And even if they did, they lacked the materials to do it properly. They needed a spark, some divine energy to get the process started. And so that night, Prometheus climbed to the top of Mount Olympus. There, in Zeus' own palace, burned the sacred fire of the gods. Prometheus reached into the flames and pulled out a burning coal. He wrapped it in a leaf and descended the mountain. The humans noticed the light through the darkness and followed the glow until they found Prometheus. At first, they were afraid, but he showed them the coal and smiled. Then together, they built the first fire. They made tools to cut wood. They created spears to hunt with and shields to protect themselves against wild beasts. Warmth chased away the night. Hope chased away the fear. And with the dawn, a new era began. See, in those days, most plants and animals were wild. They had not yet been tamed. There was no wheat or barley, so people had to search for berries and nuts, and since they had no way to preserve them, they went bad quickly, causing famine and starvation. Also, people still relied on hunting, and dangerous creatures roamed across the land, so there was never any safety. But with fire, Prometheus taught them to cook their food, to make it last longer and taste better. He also taught them to build homes, to fashion clothing, and to stay safe from harm. In short, Prometheus taught them how to live. And because of his kindness, Zeus' plans fell apart once again. See, he was waiting for the humans to worship him, to build great temples and pray day and night. But instead, they looked up at the stars and wondered if the constellations were deities. Prometheus had given them so much, and in return, they named the constellations after their heroes and their monsters. They sang songs of their adventures, and each night they celebrated their victories. And Zeus grew more and more furious. It was not enough that they ignored him. They had to insult him. To punish them, he wanted to destroy what Prometheus had built, to cast them back into darkness and hopelessness. And that is what he did. One by one, he took away everything the humans had gained. First, he sent wolves and bears to eat their crops. Next, he unleashed droughts and floods to wash away their tools. Then he used his thunderbolts to destroy their homes. Finally, he drove poisonous snakes into their caves to kill them in their sleep. To make things worse, Zeus spread diseases across the land, stealing children from their parents and filling the earth with sorrow. All the humans died, and peace returned to the earth. Zeus thought he had won, but Prometheus returned once again. He climbed Mount Olympus and grabbed another spark from the sacred fire. He raced across the earth, avoiding Zeus' servants, and returned to the riverbank. There, the corpses lay buried in the mud. Prometheus reached down and touched them with his divine spark. Immediately, the bodies rose, healthy and alive, and then he breathed life into their eyes. They blinked in surprise and asked what had happened. So Prometheus explained everything to them, the evils that lurked in the world, the dangers that surrounded them. But he also showed them the strength that burned inside their hearts, the hope that flickered in their souls. And with that, he left them to face the challenges ahead. As for Prometheus, Zeus found him carrying the second spark. Furious, he grabbed the Titan by the wrists and chained him to the same mountain where he had stolen the first flame. But this time, Zeus bound him tightly, leaving him dangling in the sky, unable to touch the ground. Each day, an eagle flew down and ate his liver, and each night, the sun would rise and heal him, only to be snatched again by the eagle before sunset. And this torment continued for years and years. Some say Zeus intended to keep Prometheus trapped forever, but others say that after 5 years, the Titan was freed. Either way, he had paid a heavy price to defy the king of the gods. But he did it because he knew the humans had gained something far greater than fire. They had gained wisdom. See, Knowledge was the true gift, not the flames. Prometheus had merely helped them access what was already inside them. And that kind of gift cannot be punished, because it can never be taken away. Once people learn to use their minds, they can discover new sources of light. They can invent new tools and technologies. And that is how we grow, how we evolve, and how we push the boundaries of our universe. So tonight, let us thank Prometheus, the bringer of fire, the titan of wisdom, who chose love over fear and hope over darkness. May his story warm your heart, and may your dreams glow softly, like the eternal flame he gave to humankind. Good night. Our music fades slowly, along with the firelight. Above us, the stars shine brightly as the narrator's voice drifts off to sleep. Now, on the screen, please tap the subscribe button and comment your favorite Greek myth. You can also check out our podcast on the app of your choice. Until next time, dream deeply.